This is an in-depth guide to Nurgle Epidemius' very first turn. It seems a bit silly maybe that a really big guide is devoted to just turn 1, but so many people mess this up. I think it deserves its own video. So the very first thing you want to do is save the game once you've loaded in. So I called my save best trait start because I happen to do the next thing which I'm going to tell you, which is look at your trait. This trait is probably the best trait that you can get because it reduces enemy leadership in the local province. Anything that reduces enemy stuff or increases your stuff in the area or gives all of your units in the army something is going to be better than something that only gives the hero something. So you want to prioritize that. If you can get Fermenter, that's brilliant. If not, there's one called Plaguish which buffs plague bearers. Failing that, you want to get a trait which makes the hero even tankier than he already is, or failing that, you want to get one that gives him the highest DPS, like highest melee attack, weapon strength. Right, next thing, now that's out of the way, the first thing you're going to want to do after that is you're going to go to diplomacy and you're going to declare war on the Aisling. So you come to Wintertooth and you join war against Aisling. You demand money. This can be increased to 633, so I'm going to do that. You can't go any higher than that. I've tested that. Propose. Yeah. Then come out of that. You can't really do anything else. I've played around with it. There's not much else to do. Then after that, you're going to want to embed the hero into the army. So what I do first is I get to where it says 93% movement of the army, then I plonk him inside, replenish troops, and then we start the attack. Okay, then we fight the battle. You want to have minimal casualties in the battle. It's really hard. The reason most people would have recruited the unit straight away, so they've got an easier battle here, but we're not actually going to recruit until turn 2. The reason is because Nurgle can summon in units and move at the same on the same turn, similar to Warriors of Chaos, where they have the warband recruitment. They can just basically, it's like raise dead. One turn raise dead and then keep moving. You don't have to wait a turn to get the unit, so you might as well not pay upkeep on the unit and summon in the unit on the next turn when you're ready to move again. Then you do this fight. I personally quick saved and then did the battle, and if I wasn't happy I'd do it again. So that's that stage. I'm going to move on to the next part, and here we are after the battle. This was the aftermath of that battle. What happened in the battle is basically most of my units stayed in pretty good health, except this one Nurgling, which lost all of its entities. Luckily we regenerated, reforged or whatever it's called, so that the unit comes back like rise from the dead or something, like vampire counts, but for demons. I also said like join the war against Aisling. The reason I said that was because not only do you get the money, but they will not be around on turn 2 to fight you. They're not a threat to you. What's going to happen is Wintertooth is going to come and take out the Aisling leader, and then they're not going to be a faction anymore. So it's a no-brainer. Right, moving on. So this is your spot now. So the next thing you want to do is actually take out the hero and move him over to Bilious Cliffs. This is where the guide differs from basically what everybody else does. And you'll notice as well, like I didn't click on unholy manifestations. Like a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, you want to put unholy manifestation for the recruitment cost and recruitment health on Epidemius. No. What you're going to do is you're going to go over here to Bilious Cliffs. You're going to recruit a lord. You're going to go Herald of Nurgle. You're going to go into Death because we've already got a Plague Ridden of Nurgle, and you're going to pick out your Nurgle Herald of Death. So in this case, the Strategist, I'm not even sure if that actually works, and then there's Plagueist, which gives makes Plague Bearers more tanky. Plague Bearers are going to be like a very common unit for us in this campaign because Epidemius actually buffs them a lot, but also, you know, it's like a bread and butter unit for Nurgle, and this guy will help out in addition to Epidemius. But the reason you want Death, apart from the fact we've already got Nurgle, is Spirit Leech, basically, because you're going to need Spirit Leech to take down this help take down this character and Malus. Malus is basically next to this character. He's going to embed, and then he's going to attack Blackrock, and he's going to take Blackrock. What you're going to do is you're going to take up this this guy, recruit, put him inside the settlement. Doesn't really matter. And then you're not going to recruit this turn, okay? What you are going to do is you're going to come over to Forest of Decay. You're going to build a military building, plague flesh poppies, whatever that you can afford, because it costs 200. You notice we picked up an extra 210 infections from doing that battle and completing the mission, basically, to kill that enemy. So you come over here, you build this building. This is a bit of an exploit here. So to unlock plagues, you need to earn 200 infections. It says here we've earned 110 because, like I said, we gained 110 from that battle and the mission. But even that wasn't necessary because we started with 200 and we need to earn 200. So even if we hadn't done the battle at all and we just did this straight away, this is what would have happened. Plagues unlocked, because once you cancel the construction, the money counts as the infections count as being earned. Probably something the CA wants to address, maybe not. But that's been a long-standing exploit for Nurgle. I don't know if it's true in Tamarkan's campaign. Not played it, but there we are. Now a lot of people say you actually want to build this building here because you want to get your units going. Here's the problem with that. So let's say I want to recruit right now. I'm not going to recruit right now, but let's say I did. How many units are there here? There's 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 units. We've got 9 here, and we've got a hero here, so that's like 19 units. And then if you include the extra lord, that's 20 units. So we've got full stack basically. So why do we need units? As long as we don't lose any units in battle, which admittedly it is easy to do as Nurgle early on, like these Nurglings, we'll be fine. And we can always recruit more lords. There's easy access to heroes if we want to get heroes. There's no need to build this building right now, and it's 4 turns away, and you know, okay, so we can get to Exalted Plague Bearers faster, but we can't really even afford them right now because they cost 275 per turn each, and our money is not very good right now. It's okay, it's just okay. So he's chilling there. Our actual plan is to, next turn we're going to recruit, and then we're going to go and attack Admiral Leech. The reason you want to attack Admiral Leech is because if you don't, then when you go to fight Malus, this thing is going to ship Black Arc abilities onto your units, and that's horrible. So you don't want that to happen. So the obvious thing, since you're actually in range of him, is just going to get him. And that's the first action of war against Malus. Meanwhile, back with Epidemius, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, you want to come over here, you want to regenerate some, replenish some entities here. Well, I'd say no. By the way, you can probably actually do a better job of it than I did, potentially. Like, that was poor micro on my part. I could have probably done better than that. But still, like, overall, it's not an easy battle. So like one of the hardest first battles for sure in the game. And then you want to, instead of going here and getting replenishment, or going into in camp stance and maybe getting replenishment in foreign territory, if that's even possible, you just force march over here. So a lot of people will end up like turn 3 going into here, but I'm actually going in there turn 2, so that's way better. Your plan with Epidemius is basically take this out, sack it, and then occupy it so you get infections. Don't worry about public order, it's not that important. Then next turn, you're gonna, after that, you'll go into Volcano's Heart, and basically you'll sack it, then loot and occupy. So because both of these, each separate action gives you infections, spore infections, and then you're going to want to sell after on the next turn after that. You want to move Epidemius back out and head him straight over toward Blackrock as quickly as possible, force march. And you want to sell Volcano's Heart to, you can't see him right now, the Demon Prince, Demon's Chaos. And then that's basically your eastern flank locked up. There's no problems there. The only chance you're going to have any problems is with Boris or Archeon come through here, which is quite a way away. So for now, you just force march over here, and then you're done with that. That's with army movement. Since this guy was a fermenter, I kept him inside the territory, because he actually gives you, where is it, 3 corruption in the province. So that's going to mean like he's going to get, we're going to get to 61 corruption. That's going to mean next time I think we'll have slightly cheaper recruitment and slightly more recruitment health as well. And maybe faster chance of plague spreading and going higher, which is what we want. And maybe control goes up faster as well. I don't know if these benefits are vanilla benefits as such, because I'm running LHTV's mod with Agneta, the Miracle Balance patch. Apart from that, there's no real gameplay changes, apart from armor doesn't take fatigue. Armor doesn't lose armor from fatigue, basically. That's the only other one I can think of. And running down enemy units is like easier. They get killed a lot easier, which makes the game way better. Apart from that, yeah. So what building to build? So since, like I said, you're not going to build this building. This building's crap and useless, doesn't do anything. Has no purpose right now. By the time it's built, you don't need those benefits at all, because you're going to build the first plague right now, so that doesn't do anything. You're not going to build a military building. If you was going to build a military building though, I wouldn't go for that one, even though you've got a faster cycle time. I'd go for this one over here, because your army needs faster units, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of like dark shards. The best unit to deal with dark shards, especially in a siege, is Chaos Furies. Although they'll get absolutely annihilated if they're allowed, if the dark shards shoot them. Once they're in melee, they'll shred them, and that's all you need. And they can't handle the physical resistance. They just can't, and the dark shards are just kind of too weak in melee to do anything. The Chaos Warhounds are poison. Not so good in a siege, to be honest, because you just can't really find the space to be flanky with them. That's why the Furies are better, because you can just go over the wall and do whatever, attack on the walls and so forth. But for the same reason, kind of the same reason, we don't need the units. Like, our armies were going to be slow. It is what it is. By the time this build is built, we won't be able to use these units anyway. Like on Malus, Malus will probably already be dead in 4 turns. So if you was going to build a military build, I'd go for this one, honestly. But no, you're not going to do that. So the other option, alternative is like build this garrison building. So you want to get your exalted hero, your cultist out, or your chaos sorcerer. You can't get an additional plague ridden out because you've already got one. So I'd argue this one has less value, even though it does provide 3 more corruption, so faster doobly-doo, like all this stuff. This one actually, you get 2 actual unique heroes, and one of them provides campaign movement, and this guy is pretty beast in melee. Problem with that is, apart from it costs 2,000, it takes 4 turns. Same problem as the other building. It takes 4 turns. By the time 4 turns pass, this guy comes out on the 4th turn, and then the 5th turn he's actually got campaign movement to do anything with him. You're going to be over here, probably on your way to Cliff of Beast. Like, he's going to be over here. It's just like, it's too far away to do anything. He's not going to be of purpose. So you're going to end up spending all that money, then upkeep on 250 upkeep per hero, which you can't afford, to bring him over there. It's not worth it. Like, you want to get the hero out, you want to get them ranked up and so forth, because snowballing, but you can't actually do it because the distance is too big, and you can't do like anything with a teleport cult either, really, because because you can't actually get him over to teleport anybody. By the time you try and set up a teleport cult, the army you're trying to teleport will already be there, so there's no point doing that. So for that reason, I've deduced that basically you want to build an infrastructure building here. You've already got the money building. The money building in for an earl is insane. So once you get your growth to 200 more or more or you get a 5 population per surplus, you're going to get 850 on your standard income building. That's insane. What this does make up for, however, is the fact that you cannot trade. You cannot do any trade as Nurgle. So that is kind of making up for that. So while it does seem like on the face of it, oh, this is like OP, takes ages to build. First of all, like the top tier one, it's like insanely long to build, 6 turns, and yeah, you can't trade. What you do get on your resource buildings, by the way, is you don't get infections, I don't think, or you might get some infections on some of the buildings, I don't know, but as far as I'm aware, like, you just get gold on a lot of them, just like raw gold, and this one gives you research rate, which is cool. Research rate is quite good actually, because like Nurgle tech tree takes ages. Speaking of which, so yeah, before I go into that, you don't want to build this building because it takes 2 turns and has almost no impact. The benefit comes to the province. You're not going to be using that benefit in the province in 2 turns. Don't build it. So it's growth or infections. Once you recruit all your units, the problem is you don't have any money. So even after you do the battle, the 2 battles, Tower of Flies and Volcano's Heart, maybe you don't even have enough money to upgrade your settlement. This costs 2,500. You're not going to actually upgrade to Bilious Glyphs, you're going to upgrade Tower of Flies, but yeah, and that takes 4 turns as well. So again, the problem is it takes too long. Like, you're not going to get an actual benefit of it. So what's the thing that gives you the sorry, wrong thing. What's the thing that gives you the most benefit straight away? infections and control. So like I said before, like don't worry about control, because this is actually going to help you to reduce your control and your the other one. Where was it? This does increase noble corruption, so like your public order will be negated. Unit problem will be negated by more corruption, but you don't necessarily want to be completely relying on infections from battles. You're not going to have that many battles right at the start. You're going to have this one. You're going to have like 4 battles, and then it's going to be a little while to get over to Cliff of Beasts, and you got to fight them. It's like and the Admiral each battle as well. Okay, so it's just a lot of these are settlement battles, so you won't actually get that many captives, if any. I don't think you even get captives. So like you have to you just murder all your captives. So do you get infections from that? I don't know. Don't think so. You only get infections from field battles, pretty sure. So there's only one there, and we don't know what kind of field battles you're gonna have over here. Before I move on to the tech tree, which I want to talk about, the hero, like you know how I said like embed him and then bring him out after the battle over to here. I did actually explore the possibility of him not embedding and going over to kill Bane. If you wanted to do that, his base chance at level 1 is 35%. It was actually cheaper than this as well, like 276, but because he's leveled up, I think it's costing more. Because I think the cost when the chance to do an action increases, the price of it increases. I think so. Could be completely wrong on that. The other possibility is you go and assault units on Malus Darkblade. I did that first time, like successfully, and the result was Malus Darkblade's army lost 2 Dread Spears. 2. So don't do that. It's not worth it. If you do either action successfully, he will rank up. You do need him to rank up because you need him to get to Stream of Corruption. As you can see, I've already leveled into Tallymen of Pestilence, because you want to get Stream of Corruption like as soon as possible. And then after that you want to go for Rancid Visitations. I'd argue Rancid Visitations before Children of Nurgle. And you can just skip doing this part. I know you want to do this, but you can't do this. You need to go this, then you can either go this or this. I prefer this because you want to get into Fleshy Abundance Black Boil as soon as possible. So the more levels you're putting into this, the less levels you're putting into this as soon as possible. So just grin and bear it, basically, with the replenishment. If you fight your battles good enough, you won't need to replenish. Right. So what was I saying? Tech tree. Yes, tech tree. So we're going to move on to plagues after that. And unholy manifestation. So tech tree, I've thought about this quite a lot and decided that the absolute best one is fecundity, and I'll explain why. First of all, we'll go to explain why. I'll basically go into these various texts you can take. You can see I've got a condensed tech tree here, like compact view, but this is how it's meant to look. So I'll just do that for now, because then you can relate to it because you don't have the mod or whatever. But I do recommend that mod, the compact tech tree thing, because it just looks way better. It's easiest to navigate. So what I recommend doing is eventually you want to basically come over to here. You want to get this. This is like really good, really good, because what are all your guys around you? They're all like those guys, basically. All those people, they're people that you could be fighting because they're all in your region. This seems kind of meh, but also if you're fighting these people, the same people that you're fighting, they those kind of people, they like each other. So like if you fight one of those types of people, the other people won't like you for fighting their kinds of people. So if you get 15 more diplomatic relations, then you're those people are happier about you, or less sad about you fighting some of those kind of people, basically. But yeah, that's what you want to be aiming for over there. Now the question is, do you want to go Preposterous Life or Madden Crowds first? Personally, I would go for Preposterous Life first. I said preposterous. Pestiferous Life. I'm not used to that word. Tempting to go to this first because of 15 growth, like, but dude, it's like 15 growth. It's not that big a deal. It's really not. It's just 15 growth. Like you saw, we got first tier 25 growth in one turn, and we can also get a plague benefit which gives us 50 growth in the province. More onto that later. So oh yeah, tech tree. Nope, that's diplomacy. Tech tree. So I was explaining why I want to go for fecundity first. So the longer you leave fecundity, like the more you miss it. But you're not. It's going to keep your guys alive. So like you're going to have to recruit less. It means more likely that you're going to be able to save your units, so you won't have to miss the fact that you didn't build a military building. So it's just a kind of a no-brainer. Like every single battle you're going to have healing, so that's great. This one I go for first though, like after fecundity, because if you don't go for fecundity first, then you're like 2 extra turns off of getting towards this and this, and like eventually like down here, like you're costing yourself time basically. So you want to get yourself to a starting point here, so that when you want to come to this, you want to be able to just go straight into it rather than researching this first, if you know what I mean. I'll just pull up my text guide that I wrote about this. What did I say? Yeah, so what did I say? I'm going to just pause it right now. Shift. Okay, I remember now. So, what was it? Nope, I've forgotten. Okay, definitely remembered now. Basically, if you don't take fecundity first, what's going to happen is you take Pestiferous Life, because more casualties captured post battle means more infections, and magic item drop chance is really useful early on, because you're not going to have scouting, because you're not going to have a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, which gives you scouting. So you need every magic item drop chance you can get, and Nurgle's battle style of battle, which is heavily magic, heavy on the magic front. Like you're going to use a lot of characters. The more items you get on those characters, the more powerful they are. It's a really good, really good tech. Problem with it is, if you go, the next tech is just nothing. There's just like one corruption is just like pitiful. It doesn't do anything. The reason you take finally get into it, fecundity, but the reason you take it first is because if you don't take it, you got to do this. You do this first, then you've got to come through here. That's 5 turns. Then you take this one, which like doesn't do anything basically. You won't notice the benefit. That doesn't do anything. That's 2 turns. That's 5 turns. This one, if you stop off of this one, you're going even slower. That's another 5 turns, and then 8 turns. So like, in order to get to this, you need both Creeping Corruption and Casting. Actually, so you need both of these. So you need, there's 5 here, and 2 there. So there's 12 turns, and then another. I think potentially another 6 or 8. I can't really tell. That's a lot of turns without fecundity. If you're just beelining straight up for hit for this, like this is really good. 5% campaign movement range. It's not amazing, but it is really useful when your territory is like it is, which is really long and sneaky and thin. Then you want to get up to it. You're trying to get up to it as quickly as possible. I understand, but that's a long time to not have fecundity. So just go fecundity first. Next thing is plagues. So what you want to do is you want to click on this, because you're gonna, and then you're gonna click on this, and then you're gonna click on this, and obviously you're welcome to click on anything else you want, but this is just the best. And you're gonna want to basically stick it on the settlement. Because it's going to give you the 50 growth. Well, you could go for you could actually, you know what, like I said before, it's debatable whether you can have enough money to actually grow your settlements, so maybe you shouldn't put it on the cliffs. Maybe you should actually go for the cultist and park him like right here, and then when the time is right, just stick it on to Malus Darkblade, his army, and then just watch his army just melt over a few turns. Like whilst Epidemius is coming back, Malus Darkblade could be melting and unable to recruit units. His territory won't grow. That's really good. That's really good. If you don't put it on this armies, you'll miss out on 10% recruitment health, like on turn 2. The casualty replenishment rate will help them actually get to full faster as well. So you're missing out on that. It's up to you how you want to do it, but for me, like the most savage thing is to just stick it onto Malus Darkblade like straight away. So you probably want to do that. As for the modifiers, I think you want to focus on spread chance. It doesn't matter really whether you're putting it on the army or the settlement or Malus Darkblade. The spread chance is going to more likely spread to any one of those things that you want it to spread to. The duration is an issue, but you could like go like this, like 10% more spread chance, but that's like, you know, 2 to 1 against it spreading, and then this is like 1 extra turn. Duration really does help when it comes to Epidemius like steaming over here in time. Like once he gets up here, it takes him quite a little while to get over here to the Black Rock. So do what you want, but like I just would not put it into immunity. I'd just go spread chance, and then like the more it like, you can only afford like 2 extra benefits, so 20% more or 10% and 1 turn or 2 turns. I suppose the longer the duration, the more opportunities there are to spread. So I mean, I don't know if the maths even works like this, but like if you multiply 5 by 25%, that's 125%. If you go 3 by what can you do here, 45%, that's 135%. That's actually a larger chance of spreading. But once let's say he loses the thing, now then he becomes immune to it. So you know what I mean? I think even if like you can't get him melting for long enough, this thing is gonna like hurt him a lot. It's gonna really hurt him to not be able to get to a full stack, and like it's gonna make the battle a lot easier for you. especially when you consider like you're not actually going to fight in Black Rock. When you see what I'm going to do, this is the other thing that people don't do. I'm going to get to it, trust me. But anyway, Unholy Manifestation. So, like I said before, I think you want to actually stick this on this guy. You're going to not want to do it right now because you're not going to recruit now. Next turn, turn 2, that's when you're going to want to do it. But this turn, you're definitely going to want to spread the plague. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go settlement, summon the cultist, and boom. The great thing about the cultist as well, like, is he can actually move with the same turn. That was interesting. I think he popped up like here with Nurglings on his card here. That's maybe a bug. So we're gonna go. If we put it on him, it might spread to Black Rock as well. It might spread to the other settlements over here. So it could even like limit their recruitment over here, which is good for you. So let's just stick it on Black Rock. No, let's stick it on Malus. Spread the plague. Right. And what does that do as well? You get the first one into here. So now you're getting 10%, 10 more research rate. It's not percentage anymore. You're getting this. Kind of think 10 hit points less than 10%. I mean, it's probably useful on Malus specifically, like because when he's like in his Sarkhan era, like he doesn't die about 10%, I don't think, and he's just like unbreakable or whatever. You're also getting this for leadership. Remember, if I've got Fermenter, so I'm actually getting -8 leadership. If you were lucky enough to also get a Lord here, you could be getting -12 leadership in in that battle. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. I hope that was helpful. I'll do another video on turn 2 where I explain about the recruitment, what we're going to do over here, and what we're going to do about Bilious Cliffs. And we'll just leave it there. And I hope I hope you enjoy this, and shout out to Dragonimus or Dragonimus, I don't know how you say his name, Twitch guy, YouTube guy. Shout out to you, and anyone else who might be watching this. I hope you learned something. Peace.